I never thought I'd end up in a fight with my own neighborhood over something so deeply personal, so profoundly tied to who I am and what I believe in. I never thought the simple act of flying the American flag outside my home would spark controversy. But when you live in a neighborhood governed by an HOA, sometimes even the smallest choices feel like battles you shouldn't have to fight. It all started on a breezy morning in May. The sky was clear, the air crisp, and I had just installed a brand new American flag in front of my home. It wasn't just any flag. It was bigger than the one I had before, with colors so bright they seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. I wanted it to be seen, not just by me but by anyone walking or driving through the neighborhood. To me, the flag wasn't decoration. It was a symbol of sacrifice, of service, of everything this country stood for. I had grown up with stories of my grandfather, who served in World War II, and my father, who had spent years in the military before coming home to raise a family. For me, flying the flag wasn't optional, it was an expression of gratitude. I wanted my kids to grow up seeing it every day, understanding that freedom wasn't free. A few days after putting it up, I was mowing the lawn when I noticed a folded paper taped to my front door. It was an official-looking notice, stamped with the HOA's logo at the top. At first, I thought it was something minor, maybe a reminder about landscaping or trash pickup schedules. But when I unfolded it, my hands froze. Dear homeowner, it has come to our attention that the American flag displayed on your property is not in compliance with HOA regulations. The size of the flag exceeds the permitted dimensions stated in our community guidelines. Please reduce the size or remove the flag within 10 days to avoid fines or further action. I stood there in disbelief. My flag? Too big? I reread the letter over and over, as if I'd misunderstood. The words blurred, but the message was crystal clear. They wanted me to take it down. That evening, I brought it up to my wife. She looked at me, stunned, and then shook her head. They can't be serious. It's the American flag. It's not like you put up a billboard or something. This is our country's flag. But the HOA was serious. A few days later, another letter came, this time with stronger wording. They cited fines of up to $100 a day if I didn't comply. It felt surreal. Here I was, a law-abiding citizen, being told that the flag of the United States, the very thing that unites us, was somehow a violation. I tried to reason with myself. Maybe it wasn't worth it. Maybe I should just get a smaller one, avoid the trouble. But every time I looked at that flag waving proudly in the wind, I knew I couldn't do it. To take it down would feel like betraying everything it stood for. So, I decided to fight back. The next HOA meeting came around, and I showed up, letter in hand, heart pounding in my chest. I wasn't usually the type to speak up in public, but this wasn't just about me, it was about respect, about principle. When the time came for residents to speak, I stood up and told my story. My father and grandfather both served this country. I began, my voice trembling. Flying this flag isn't some kind of decoration, it's who I am. It's who we are. This flag represents freedom, sacrifice, and unity. And if you're telling me it's too big to be seen, then maybe what's too small is our understanding of what it means to be part of this community. There was silence in the room. Some people avoided eye contact, while others nodded slowly. A couple of board members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The president of the HOA cleared his throat and said, "We appreciate your passion, but rules are rules. The flag is larger than allowed, and the guidelines are there for a reason." That phrase, "rules are rules," echoed in my head the whole night. Rules are rules. But what about values? What about the people those rules are supposed to serve? The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. It wasn't just about the size of the fabric on a pole. It was about the audacity of someone telling me that my patriotism had limits, that my pride had a cutoff point measured in inches and feet. Word started to spread around the neighborhood. Some people came up to me quietly and said they supported me, that they loved the flag and thought it looked beautiful. Others, though, kept their distance, probably afraid of getting caught in the middle. But what mattered was that I wasn't alone. I reached out to a veterans group in the area, and when they heard what was happening, they were furious. "You keep that flag flying," one veteran told me over the phone. "Don't let anyone tell you it doesn't belong." Their support lit a fire in me. The day the fines were supposed to start, I woke up early and went outside. The flag waved proudly in the morning breeze, and for a moment I felt calm, resolute. A few neighbors walking their dogs stopped and smiled at me. One man even saluted as he passed. But then, around noon, a car pulled up in front of my house. Out stepped two HOA officers, dressed in black uniforms with clipboards in hand. They walked straight toward me. "Sir," one of them said, "this is your final warning. The flag must come down today, or fines will be applied immediately." I looked at them, then back at the flag, then back at them. "No," I said firmly. "This flag isn't coming down. Not today. Not ever. If you want to fine me, fine me. But I won't back down." They scribbled notes on their clipboards, exchanged glances, and walked away. My stomach twisted with nerves, but deep down, I felt a strange sense of victory. Over the next week, the story spread even further. A local reporter caught wind of it and asked to interview me. Soon, my story was on the evening news. People from all over the state reached out, sharing words of encouragement. Veterans, families, everyday Americans, they all told me the same thing. Don't give in. Keep that flag flying. And then, something unexpected happened. The pressure worked. The HOA backed off. They announced at the next meeting that they would review the flag size rule, citing the unique concerns raised by the community. It wasn't an outright victory yet, but it was progress. My flag stayed right where it was. Standing on my porch one evening, watching the stars emerge in the sky, I looked at that flag with pride. It wasn't just a piece of cloth, it was a reminder of resilience, of standing firm when you know you're right. And it taught me something important. Sometimes you have to fight for even the simplest freedoms, even in your own neighborhood. So to anyone watching this, if you've ever been told to quiet your pride, to hide your values, to shrink the very thing that makes you who you are, don't. Stand tall. Keep fighting. Because some things are too important to compromise. And if you felt this story in your heart, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Let's keep these stories alive, so no one ever forgets what that flag truly stands for.